The brutal attack. The sun rose on New Hope, Earth's biggest space colony. Kids laughed as they walked to school. Parents waved goodbye, not knowing it was for the last time. In the clear blue sky, something flashed, then another, and another. Soon, the whole sky lit up with bright dots. People stopped and looked up. Some pointed. Others took out their phones to record. "Look, Mom. Stars in the day," a little girl said. Her mom frowned. "Those aren't stars, honey." The dots grew bigger. They weren't stars. They were ships. Vague, scary alien ships. Hundreds of them. Maybe thousands. Alarms started to sound. Loud and scary. People began to run. Panic spread fast. "Get inside," someone yelled. "It's an attack." The first blast hit the city center. A huge boom shook the ground. Buildings fell. Fire spread. Screams filled the air. More blasts followed, one after another. Boom, boom, boom. The city burned. Smoke rose high into the sky. At the school, teachers tried to keep the kids calm. Everyone under the desks. They shouted, but it was no use. The roof caved in. Walls crumbled. Outside, alien soldiers appeared. They were tall, with scaly skin and big eyes. They carried strange guns, and they showed no mercy. They shot at anything that moved. Adults, kids, pets, it didn't matter to them. They killed and killed. Some people tried to fight back. They grabbed whatever they could. Sticks, rocks, kitchen knives. But it was no use. The aliens were too strong, too well armed. In space, Earth's defense ships tried to help. They flew towards New Hope as fast as they could, but they were too far away, too slow. The aliens' plan was cruel and simple. Kill the kids, all of them. Break Earth's spirit. Make humans give up. Hours passed. The attack went on and on. By the time Earth's ships arrived, it was too late. New Hope was gone, destroyed. 800,000 children dead. The few survivors told their stories. They cried as they spoke. Soldiers listening to them cried too. Then got angry. Very angry. News spread across Earth. Every TV channel showed the same things. Burned buildings. Dead kids. Crying parents. Angry people. World leaders met. They argued. They yelled. But in the end, they all agreed on one thing. This could not go unpunished. "We must strike back," said the President of Earth. "With everything we have." People all over Earth wanted revenge. They demanded action. "Make them pay." They shouted outside government buildings. In secret bases deep underground, scientists and generals talked. They had weapons. Powerful weapons. Weapons they had hoped never to use. Now, they had no choice. Activate the Doomsday Protocol. The order came. As night fell on Earth, people looked up at the stars. They thought of New Hope, of all those lost lives. They felt sad. They felt angry. But most of all, they felt determined. Tomorrow, Earth would strike back. The aliens thought they had won. They thought wrong. They had no idea what was coming for them. The brutal attack on New Hope was not the end. It was just the beginning of Earth's revenge, of a war that would change the galaxy forever. Earth fights back. The world was angry, really angry. People everywhere wanted to hit back at the aliens. They wanted revenge for all the kids who died on New Hope. In a big underground room, Earth's leaders met. Generals, presidents, and scientists all sat around a huge table. Their faces looked serious and sad. "We have to do something," said one leader. "We can't let them get away with this." A tall woman in a military uniform stood up. "We have a weapon," she said. "A very powerful one. We've never used it before. It's too dangerous. But now..." She pressed a button. A big screen lit up. It showed a strange-looking device. It was small, about the size of a football. but it glowed with a weird blue light. "This is the Nova Bomb," the woman said. "It can destroy whole planets. We made it years ago, but we were too scared to use it. Maybe it's time we did." The room got very quiet. Everyone looked at each other. They knew this was a big decision. Using this weapon would change everything. Finally, the president of Earth spoke. "Do it," he said. "Use the Nova Bomb. Show them what happens when you mess with Earth." The next day, Earth's best spaceship, the Star Striker, took off. It carried the Nova Bomb. Captain Sarah Lee and her crew were chosen for this important mission. As they flew towards alien space, Sarah thought about her own kids back on Earth. She felt scared, but also determined. "We're doing this for all the children," she told her crew. After 3 days of flying, they reached the first alien planet. It was big and green, with 3 moons. Alien ships flew around it. "Get ready," Sarah said. She pressed a red button. The Nova Bomb shot out of the ship. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, a bright light appeared. It got bigger and bigger. Soon, it was as bright as a star. The alien planet started to shake. Cracks appeared on its surface. The light got even brighter. Then, boom! The planet exploded. It broke into 1,000,000 pieces. The alien ships nearby were destroyed too. Sarah and her crew watched in shock. They knew the bomb was powerful. But this was something else. "My God," someone whispered. "What have we done?" But they didn't have time to think about it. They had more targets to hit. Over the next few days, the Star Striker visited 5 more alien planets. Each time, they used a Nova Bomb. Each time, a planet was destroyed. News of the attacks spread fast across the galaxy. Aliens everywhere were scared. They had thought humans were weak. Now they knew better. On the 6th day, Sarah's ship returned to Earth. As soon as they landed, news cameras surrounded them. People cheered and waved flags. "You're heroes," someone shouted, but Sarah didn't feel like a hero. She felt tired and sad. In a big room full of TV cameras, Earth's president made a speech. "We have shown the aliens our power," he said. "Now they know not to mess with us. But this is just the beginning. We won't stop until every alien who hurt our children is punished." People all over Earth watched the speech. They felt proud and strong. For the first time since the attack on New Hope, they felt hope. But far away in space, the aliens were planning too. They were scared of Earth now, but also angry. They didn't want to give up. The war had only just begun, and it was going to get much, much bigger. The big warning. The big room was quiet. Earth's leaders sat around a table, looking at screens. The screens showed planets blowing up. 6 alien worlds, gone in days. "We've shown them our power," said General Maria Chen. "Now what?" President Jackson stood up. He looked tired, but his eyes were fierce. "Now we warn them. All of them." He turned to a young woman sitting nearby. "Dr. Lee, is the Galactic broadcast system ready?" Dr. Sarah Lee nodded. She was the smartest person in the room. "Maybe on Earth." "Yes, sir. We can send a message to every corner of the galaxy." "Good," said the president. "Let's do it." In a small room nearby, they set up cameras. The president sat in front of them. He took a deep breath. "Ready in 3, 2, 1, said a technician. The red light on the camera turned on. The president began to speak. "To all alien species in the galaxy, I am Thomas Jackson, President of Earth. You know why I'm speaking to you today. You attacked us. You killed our children. We have responded. 6 of your worlds are now gone." He paused, his face getting harder. "This is your only warning. Leave us alone. Stay away from Earth and all human colonies. If you don't, we will destroy you all. Every planet. Every ship. Every last one of you. You have 1 Earth week to begin evacuation of all areas near our space. This is not a negotiation. Run, or face total destruction. Jackson out. The camera light went off. The room was silent. Was that too harsh? The president asked. General Chen shook her head. No, sir. They need to know we're serious. In space, the message spread fast. It went to every planet, every ship, every space station. Aliens of all kinds heard it. Some didn't believe it at first. But then they saw the videos of planets exploding. On the alien capital world, Xerax Prime, panic spread. The streets filled with scared aliens. They had all kinds of shapes and colors, but they all looked afraid. In the High Council chamber, alien leaders argued. We must fight back, shouted one, his tentacles waving. Are you crazy? Didn't you see what they did? Yelled another, her scales changing color with fear. Maybe we should talk to them, suggested a small furry alien. The supreme leader, a tall gray alien named Xorlak, raised his hand for silence. We underestimated the humans, he said. We thought killing their young would break them. We were wrong. Now we must decide. Do we run or do we fight? Back on Earth, people watched the alien news channels. They saw the fear and panic. Some felt good about it. Others felt scared of what they had started. In a small apartment, Captain Sarah Lee watched with her family. Her son tugged at her sleeve. Mom, are the aliens going to hurt us again? He asked. Sarah hugged him tight. No, honey. They're scared of us now. We're safe. But in her heart, she wasn't sure. She had seen what the Nova bomb could do. What if the aliens had something worse? As the Earth Week deadline got closer, the galaxy held its breath. Would the aliens run? Would they fight? Or would they try to talk? In secret bases across the galaxy, both humans and aliens got ready for what might come next. Weapons were loaded. Ships were fueled. The warning had been given. Now, everyone waited to see what would happen. The next few days would decide the future of the entire galaxy. Aliens panic. The galaxy was in chaos. Earth's big warning scared everyone. Aliens everywhere were freaking out. On planet Xorlax, the sky was full of ships, thousands of them. Big ones, small ones, all trying to leave at once. It looked like a crazy space traffic jam. Move it, yelled a Xorlaxian in his ship. We gotta get out of here. But there was nowhere to go. Every planet was the same, packed with scared aliens trying to run away. In the royal palace, King Blurp of the Xorlaxians was losing it. His tentacles were all tangled up from stress. What do we do? He screamed at his advisors. The humans will kill us all. One brave advisor spoke up. Maybe we should surrender. King Blurp threw a space banana at him. Never. We are Xorlaxians. We don't give up. But even as he said it, the king was packing his bags, just in case. On the desert world of Sandopia, things were even crazier. The Sand People were fighting each other to get on the last ships. I was here first, shouted one sand person, hitting another with his sand shovel. No, me, yelled another, throwing a handful of sand. It was total madness. Sand was flying everywhere. Ships were taking off half empty because the pilots were too scared to wait. In space, it wasn't any better. Ships from different alien races were bumping into each other. Some were so scared they were flying in the wrong direction, going closer to Earth instead of away from it. On the ice planet Frigidia, the news hit hard. The Frigidians were usually super calm. Their motto was, "Stay cool." But not today. "We're all gonna melt," cried one Frigidian, running in circles. "Don't be silly," said his friend. "We're made of ice. We can't melt." "Oh yeah, tell that to the Nova bomb." Even the toughest aliens were scared. On the warrior planet Brutalia, General Smashfist was giving a speech to his troops. "We are Brutalians," he roared. "We fear nothing." Just then, a human ship flew by in the distance. All the Brutalians screamed and ran for cover. General Smashfist facepalmed. Oh, come on, guys. But not everyone was running. Some aliens were getting angry. They didn't like being pushed around. On planet Xerax, a group of aliens met in secret. They were from different races, but they all agreed on one thing. They had to fight back. "The humans think they can bully us," said Zorg, a bug-like alien. "We need to show them they're wrong." "But how?" asked Blor, a blob alien. "They have the Nova Bomb." "We'll find a way," said Zyla, a smart alien with a big brain. "We have to." As the Earth Week deadline got closer, the panic spread. Some aliens hid in deep space. Others tried to disguise their planets as giant space rocks. One alien race, the Mimics, even tried to make their whole planet look like a huge pizza. They thought humans might not blow up food. Back on Earth, people watched all this on their TVs. Some laughed. Some felt bad for the aliens. Others were just glad Earth was safe. But was it really safe? As aliens ran all over the galaxy, no one knew what might happen next. Would some of them fight back? Would they find a secret weapon? The galaxy held its breath, waiting to see what the next day would bring. Humans attack. The Earth Week was over. The aliens didn't all run away. Now it was time for humans to attack. In a big room on Earth, General Maria Chen looked at a giant map of the galaxy. Red dots showed where alien ships were. "It's time," she said. "Launch Operation Starburst." Across Earth, huge spaceships took off. They were called Thunderbolts. Each one was as big as a city. They carried thousands of soldiers and lots of weapons. Captain Sarah Lee stood on the bridge of the first Thunderbolt. She looked at her crew. "Ready?" she asked. They all nodded. Sarah took a deep breath. "Let's go kick some alien butt." The Thunderbolts jumped into hyperspace. In seconds, they were in alien territory. The first battle was at planet Zorgan. Alien ships tried to stop the Thunderbolts, but they were no match for Earth's technology. "Fire the plasma cannons," Sarah shouted. Blue beams shot out from the Thunderbolt. They cut through alien ships like they were made of paper. On Zorgan, aliens looked up at the sky. Their mouths fell open. Human ships were everywhere. "We surrender," the Zorgan leader yelled into space. But it was too late. The Thunderbolts dropped special bombs. They didn't destroy the planet. Instead, they shut down all alien tech. In minutes, Zorgan was helpless. Human soldiers landed on the planet. They rounded up all the aliens. "You are now under Earth control," they announced. The next target was the ice world Frigidia. The Frigidians tried to hide under the ice, but Earth ships had special sensors. "I see you," a human pilot sang as he fired his lasers. The ice melted, and the Frigidians had nowhere to hide. Some aliens tried to fight back. On the desert planet Sandopia, they built a giant sand monster. "Fear our sand colossus," they yelled. Captain Lee looked at it and laughed. "Guys, we have water guns." A few squirts later, the sand colossus was just a big mud puddle. Not all battles were easy. At planet Sarxon, the aliens had a secret weapon. It was a big space octopus. "Holy calamari," shouted a human soldier as tentacles grabbed his ship. But humans were creative. They played loud rock music. The space octopus didn't like it. It let go and swam away. "Rock beats space octopus," said Sarah with a grin. Who knew? Day after day, the humans won more battles. They were just too strong, too smart, and too determined. Some aliens tried to make peace. They sent messages saying sorry for killing the children. But Earth wasn't ready to forgive. "Actions have consequences," President Jackson said in a speech. "They started this war. We'll finish it." After a month, half the galaxy was under human control. Aliens everywhere were scared. Some hid in deep space. Others begged for mercy. But a few aliens were angry. They met in secret to make plans. "The humans must be stopped," said Zork, a scaly alien. But how? Vlila, the big-brained alien, smiled. I have an idea. A big, dangerous idea. Back on the Thunderbolt, Sarah looked out at the stars. She felt proud of what humans had done, but she also felt worried. It can't be this easy, she thought. What are we missing? As if answering her question, alarms started blaring. A soldier ran up to her. Captain, we're getting a strange signal. Something big is coming. Sarah's eyes widened. The human attack had been successful, but was it about to face its biggest challenge yet? The big run. The galaxy was in chaos. Humans were winning everywhere. Aliens were running scared. It was the biggest escape in space history. On planet Xylox, the streets were jammed. Aliens of all shapes and sizes were trying to leave. Some had tentacles. Some had wings. All looked scared. Move it, yelled a blue alien with 3 eyes. The humans are coming. Ships filled the sky. Big ships, small ships, even flying saucers. They all wanted to get away from Earth's army. In space, it was even crazier. Ships bumped into each other. Some went the wrong way. It was like a big traffic jam. But in space, watch where you're going, shouted Captain Zorb of the Xyloxian fleet. His ship had just been hit by a flying pizza. The mimics were still using their food disguises. On the ice planet Frigidia, things were melting down. Literally. Hurry up, cried King Icicle. Grab the ice cream. We can't leave without the royal ice cream. His servants rolled their eyes, but they loaded up the space freezers anyway. The desert people of Sandopia had a different problem. They were trying to take their sand with them. But it's our home, whined Prince Sandy, as he filled his pockets with sand. His advisor sighed. Sir, we can't take a whole planet's worth of sand. Watch me try, said the prince, now pouring sand into his shoes. Even the tough Brutalians were running. General Smashfist looked sad as he left his planet. I never thought I'd see the day, he grumbled. Brutalians don't run. Just then, a human ship appeared in the distance. Smashfist yelped and ran faster. Okay, maybe we run a little, he admitted. Some aliens tried to hide instead of run. The chameleons of Blendor turned their whole planet invisible. They'll never find us now, said the Chameleon King. But he forgot one thing. Invisible planets still have gravity. A human ship crashed right into them. Oops, said the Chameleon King as his planet became visible again. The Phloetians of Cloudworld tried floating higher into space. If we go high enough, maybe the humans won't reach us, they thought. But they floated too high and popped out of their atmosphere. Now they were just floating in space. Well, this backfired, said a Phloetian as he drifted past an asteroid. Not everyone could escape. Some were too slow, like the sloths of Slowville. We'll get there eventually, said President Slowpoke as he packed his bags in slow motion. By the time he was done, humans had already taken over half the galaxy. Back on Earth, people watched all this on TV. Some felt bad for the aliens. Others cheered. Look at them run, said a kid in New York. We're the strongest in the galaxy. But not everyone was happy. Captain Sarah Lee watched from her ship, the Thunderbolt. This isn't right, she thought. There has to be a better way. As millions of aliens flood, the galaxy changed. Planets that were once full of life became empty. Space was filled with refugee ships, all looking for a new home. But where could they go? Humans were everywhere now. No place felt safe. And in the dark corners of space, angry aliens were making plans. They didn't want to run. They wanted revenge. The big run was changing the galaxy forever. But was it really the end? Or just the beginning of something even bigger? Aliens fight each other. The galaxy was a mess. Humans were taking over. Aliens were running. But now, something new was happening. Aliens started fighting each other. On planet Zorgon, 2 alien groups were yelling at each other. The blobs and the spikes didn't get along before. Now it was worse. This is all your fault, shouted Bloody, the blob leader. His whole body jiggled as he yelled. No, it's your fault. Spiky, the Spike Chief, yelled back. His spikes got sharper when he was angry. You're the ones who attacked Earth first, Bloody accused. Well, you're the ones who didn't fight hard enough. Spiky shot back. Soon, blobs were throwing goo at spikes. Spikes were shooting needles at blobs. It was chaos. In space, things weren't better. Alien ships from different planets were bumping into each other on purpose. Move your ugly ship, Captain Zorb of the Zoloxians shouted at a Sandopian ship. Make me, you tentacle face, the Sandopian captain replied. Laser beams started flying, but they were so busy fighting each other, they didn't see the human ships coming. On the ice planet Frigidia, King Icicle was having a meltdown, literally and figuratively. The heaters from planet Hothat did this, he cried, as his ice castle dripped. They told the humans where to find us. The heaters, visiting from their lava planet, were shocked. We did not, they said, steaming with anger. Soon, snowballs and fireballs were flying everywhere. The planet turned into a big wet mess. Even allies were turning on each other. The Floatians and the Grounders used to be friends. Now they were arguing. If you had let us hide underground, the humans wouldn't have found us. A Grounder grumbled. Well, if you hadn't weighed us down, we could have floated away. A Floatian puffed back. Their fight got so bad, they didn't notice when humans captured both their planets. Some aliens tried to make peace. On planet Peacenik, they held a big meeting. Friends, we must work together, said the Peacenik leader. He had flowers growing out of his head. But then they started fighting about how to make peace. Soon, flower petals and peace signs were flying everywhere. The tough Brutalians were the worst. They started a big space brawl. Hundreds of ships were punching and kicking each other. Take that, you coward, General Smashfist yelled as he punched another alien ship. Who are you calling coward? The other alien yelled back, kicking Smashfist's ship. They were so busy fighting, they didn't notice they had drifted into human space. A human ship found them all tangled up. Should we shoot them? A human soldier asked. Nah, said his captain. Let them tire themselves out. Back on Earth, people watched all this on the news. They were confused. I thought we were fighting the aliens, a kid said to his mom. Why are they fighting each other? Captain Sarah Lee watched too. From her ship, she shook her head. This is getting out of hand, she said. We need to stop this before it's too late. But not everyone agreed. Some humans were happy to see aliens fight. Let them destroy each other, General Chen said in a meeting. It makes our job easier. As aliens fought aliens, the galaxy got messier. Planets were left undefended. Some were destroyed in the fighting. And in all this chaos, no one noticed a strange ship hiding in the shadows. Inside, a group of aliens from different races were making the secret plan. Let them fight, said Scylla, the big-brained alien. While they're distracted, we'll make our move. The galaxy was at war with itself. But was this just the start of something even bigger? The last big battle. The galaxy was holding its breath. Humans had won every fight so far. But now, the aliens had a secret plan. It was time for the last big battle. On Earth, alarms were ringing. Red lights flashed in every control room. General Chen ran into the war room, looking worried. Mr. President, she said, we have a problem. A big one. President Jackson looked at the giant space map. His eyes went wide. Thousands of alien ships were coming from all directions. How? He asked. I thought they were fighting each other. It was a trick, General Chen said. They fooled us. In space, Captain Sarah Lee saw the alien ships appear. There were so many, they looked like a giant space storm. Battle stations, she yelled to her crew. This is not a drill. The alien fleet was led by a massive ship. It was bigger than a planet. On its bridge stood Axila, the big-brained alien. She smiled. "Humans," she said into a giant space microphone. "Your time is up. We are united now. Prepare to lose." The battle began. Lasers flew everywhere. Explosions lit up space like fireworks. Human ships fought bravely. Their technology was better. But the aliens had so many ships. On a small planet nearby, two alien kids watched the fight. "Who do you think will win?" one asked. "I don't know," said the other. "But I hope they don't blow up our school. I have a test tomorrow." Back in the battle, things were getting bad for the humans. Their ships were being destroyed one by one. "We need help," Sarah shouted into her radio. On Earth, President Jackson made a big decision. "Send in the Nova bombs," he ordered. Giant missiles shot out from Earth. Each one could destroy a planet. The aliens saw them coming and panicked. "Dodge them," Zyla yelled. Alien ships scattered like scared fish. Some of the Nova bombs missed, but others hit their targets. Huge explosions rocked space. For a moment, it looked like humans would win again. But then, something strange happened. The giant alien ship started to glow. It was charging up a super weapon. "Behold," Sila shouted, "the Planet Crusher." A massive beam shot out from the ship. It hit a nearby planet. The planet cracked like an egg, then exploded. Everyone, humans and aliens, stopped fighting. They stared in shock. "That's not fair," someone yelled. "You can't just blow up planets." "Oh yeah," Sila replied. "Watch me do it again." The Planet Crusher started to glow. It was aiming at Earth. Sarah knew she had to do something. She flew her ship straight at the giant alien ship. "What are you doing?" her crew asked. "Something crazy," she replied. Just as the Planet Crusher was about to fire, Sarah's ship crashed into it. There was a huge explosion. The giant ship started to fall apart. Sila and her crew had to escape in small pods. "No!" Sila yelled as she floated away. "We were so close." With their big weapon gone, the alien fleet lost hope. Many ships surrendered. Others ran away. The last big battle was over. Humans had won, but just barely. On Earth, people cheered, but President Jackson looked serious. "We almost lost everything," he said. "Maybe it's time to talk peace." As the dust settled, both humans and aliens looked at the destroyed planets and ships. Everyone was tired of fighting. But was the war really over? Or was this just the end of the beginning? Humans rule space. The big war was over. Humans had won. Now, they ruled space. But things were not simple. On Earth, there was a big party. People danced in the streets. Kids played with toy spaceships. Everyone was happy. President Jackson stood on a stage. He looked serious. "We have won," he said, "but now we must be wise rulers." In space, things were changing fast. Human ships flew everywhere. They were the new space police. Captain Sarah Lee, now Admiral Lee, led the biggest fleet. Her ship, the Peacemaker, was huge. It had a special mission: to make friends with aliens. "We beat them," Sarah told her crew. "Now we must help them." On planet Zorgon, aliens watched as human ships landed. They were scared. But then, humans came out with food and medicine. "We're here to help," a human said, smiling. The Zorgons were surprised. "We thought you'd destroy us," one said. "Nah," replied the human. "That's old news. We're buddies now." Not all planets welcomed humans. On the desert world Sandopia, the Sand People tried to hide. "Go away," they yelled, throwing sandballs. Sarah arrived to talk. "We're not here to hurt you," she said. "We want to trade. We have water." The Sand People's eyes went wide. "Water? Real water? Okay, maybe we can talk." Even the tough Brutalians had to accept human rule. General Smashfist grumbled as he shook hands with the human general. "I still think we could have won," he muttered. "Sure you could," the human said, patting his arm. "Want to arm wrestle later?" Smashfist grinned. Maybe humans weren't so bad after all. Some aliens tried to copy humans. On planet Mimic, they all started wearing jeans and t-shirts. "Look, we're just like you," they said proudly. Humans laughed. "You guys know we have different styles, right?" The mimics looked confused. "You mean we can be different and friends?" "Exactly," the humans said. Not everything was easy. Some aliens were still angry. They formed a rebel group called Galaxy Freedom Fighters. They tried to cause trouble, but their plans often failed in funny ways. Once, they tried to steal a human ship, but they couldn't read the controls. They ended up flying in circles for hours. Another time, they tried to hack human computers, but they typed so slow, the humans caught them easily. "Maybe we should take typing classes first," a rebel said, embarrassed. Humans found ways to make peace. They started a big space school where aliens and humans studied together. In class, a human kid sat next to a blob alien. "Wanna share my lunch?" the human asked. "Sure," the blob said. "But, can you pour it on me? I don't have a mouth." Slowly, the galaxy changed. Aliens and humans started working together. They built amazing things. On planet Greenopia, they made a giant space garden. Flowers from 100 worlds bloomed there. "It's beautiful," an alien said, crying happy tears. Who knew humans had such green tentacles? I mean thumbs. Even old enemies became friends. Zyla, the big-brained alien who led the last battle, now worked with humans. She helped design a new space station. It was shaped like a peace sign. "Ironic, isn't it?" she said, laughing. Years passed. The galaxy got peaceful. Humans and aliens visited each other's planets for fun. Earth had changed too. It was now the capital of the galaxy. Aliens walked the streets of New York and Tokyo. In a park, human and alien kids played together. They didn't care about different colors or shapes. They were just friends. Admiral Sarah Lee watched them from her ship. She smiled. This, she thought, is what winning really means. The story of how humans came to rule space was over. But the story of the galaxy, that was just beginning.